Good afternoon and hello world, I'm Maya Sundermeyer and I would like to welcome you to the latest episode of my blog series. So far, I've been able to share my own experiences with you guys on what it's been like for me to live with autism. Other times I like to give my 2 cents as to what's going on with autism in the media from my own perspective. And a third thing that I enjoy doing is giving tips to individuals on the spectrum and to their families and their peers and their mentors and to anybody that's in the autism community like peers and to colleagues and to current and potential employers and to anybody that's in our community like at places of worship and anything that's out in public. And in this video blog, I would like to give tips specifically to individuals on the autism spectrum, whether they be childhood, adolescenthood, or adulthood. And this is all about learning how to take rejections and learning how to understand that not everybody's interested in us anymore. And there's a time and a place when you realize that a person who once called you their best friend or loved you like a brother or a sister, or they invited you over to their house for Christmas, or you called each other on the phone every day for the last 5 years or whatever, and they go into a different direction in their life and they suddenly start giving you little hints that they're not interested and they start treating you poorly. I wanted to give you guys some tips on that. So here's a really bad example. So let's say that you're friends with somebody for a really, really, really long time. And let's say that you're both single. Like, let's say you guys are both children going into junior high or middle school. And let's say that your best friend ends up meeting a guy. And let's say that suddenly they start changing and they start hanging out with him and his friends, and suddenly they're making fun of you, and suddenly their parents let them do whatever they want. Suddenly their parents are laughing at you. They're ignoring your parents. Let's say that they pick on you in school and they call you up and prank you, and they keep brushing you off every time you call them. So let's say that you lose your temper and you decide that you're going to call them names in the hallway every time you see them, like, hey, you little slut, or hey, or hey, property of your boyfriend, B word. Or let's say you start taking it out on the mom. Let's say you start calling them up in the middle of the night, or calling and yelling and leaving messages on their phone, or on their voicemail. And so, as you can tell, that's a bad example. And here's why. First of all, you need to understand that when you do those kind of things, you give that person ammunition and you give them the right to use that against you and tell other people that you're weird, tell other people that you're abusive, that you've got a bad temper, don't associate with her, she's a drama queen, he's a drama king, they're high maintenance, blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't turn over very well. So you have ruined that opportunity. The best thing to do in a situation like that is, if somebody's going to be nasty to you and they're going to ignore you in public and they're going to push you away and brush you off because suddenly their boyfriend and their friends are more important, first of all, they probably were not much of a friend to begin with, or you probably outgrew each other. And second of all, rather than accuse them and call them names down the hall, or call them on the phone and leave disgusting messages, or pick on their family, it's much better for you to approach the person and ask them a question. Did I do something wrong to offend you? And they have a right to tell you yes or no. If they want to argue with you and they want to say things like, hey, I don't appreciate this, and they brush you off, just leave them alone. Don't try and chase after somebody who's not interested in you. And again, don't try to retaliate, and don't try to give them ammunition. If you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. And I would love to hear your stories about your struggles with friends and how you manage to overcome these types of situations and these types of people. Also, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm Maya Sundermeyer, and I'm signing off.